Well, hello and welcome to Once in a Pot. My name is Jesus Flores, and I think that you already know me. But if you don't, and it's your first time watching or hearing this podcast, well, welcome here. Where we discuss everything about life. But in this special episode, this episode is titled "Exploring Language, Gender, and Our Identity." We will divide or delve into how gender influence our language. We'll explore the differences in communication between men and women and certain the ages or the social factors that can influence too in the language acquisition. We'll explore the differences and examining how they express themselves and the varying words of and expressions that they use. Additionally to this, we'll discuss how language can influence a person's identity, considering new cases that have emerged in recent times. Join us as we discover and uncover these fascinating aspects of language and identity. So, first of all, we have to know that language plays a crucial role in shaping our perception of gender. The words we use, the way we express ourselves, and the language we hear and read all contribute to how we understand and define our gender, or the gender. From the use of pronouns to the way we describe gender roles and characteristics, language reflects and reinforces social and societal norms and expectations surrounding gender. By examining the language used, we can gain insight into how gender is constructed and perceived within a given society. Additionally to this, language can either challenge or perpetuate traditional gender stereotypes, making it a powerful tool for promoting gender equality and understanding. As we see like some examples of this, we can see all the sponsors from the LGBT community when it's June, that's the Pride Month. We can see that there is a lot of things that can show us some examples of how the nowadays or the recent times the language and the use of these pronouns can influence in some variety of persons, right? Because we can see some different things that they can or before normally we wouldn't see them. So yeah, but now it is a powerful tool that shapes our understanding of the world from a very young age, as I told you. And this type of propaganda or sponsors or advertisements in the streets can influence maybe in a very young age to the kids that grow up knowing more about themselves. And in a particular, the language we use plays a significant role in how we learn about gender and the roles associated with it, from the words we hear as children to the phrases we use as an adults. The language influences our perception of gender and the expectations placed upon us. In this discussion, we will explore how language is used in socialization and its impact on gender roles, right? We know that in the past times, the gender roles were assigned so bad. For example, the way that men or old men think that the women have to be under the house, under care of the house, right? Like they have to clean, they have to cook, and they have to be for the service of men. And well, in the case of the man, they were like, oh, I am the man, I have to provide money, I have to provide the food, I am the authority here in this house. And nowadays I think that that are no more those expressions or assumptions for the roles of the house or the gender roles, because I don't know. Well, next continue. In the first thing, it says that they reinforcing stereotype. The language often tell us about the boys and the girls are supposed to do. As I told you, the boys plays with trucks and the girls play with the dolls. That they reinforce these ideas. And also, as I told you, the men have to provide for the house and the women have to take care of the house. And then we have here the setting expectation. Words like he or she tell us we were supposed to be based on our gender, and the terms like fireman or stewardess suggest certain jobs for that are for certain genders, right? As here in Mexico, we have a thing that it's called ama de casa, and I think that that's not like a really good example for the use of language in a gender role, right? It's like, wow, that's not how it's supposed to work. But okay. And the third thing, we have the limiting expressions. I heard a podcast from a friend called Talia that her podcast, sorry, is Happy Hour, Larry Hour. I'm sorry if I mispronounce Talia. And she talk about a theme that boys are often told that they don't have to cry, and while girls are praised for being sweet or nice, right? Uh, for example, I have friends that they told me that they really don't like to share their emotions or they share their thoughts about things because they are like raised from a family that it's not a really good understanding to them. And yeah, I think that that's like a bad thing for them because they won't or they are not like showing their real face or their real way that they want to do because of the past words said. And yeah, the next one and the last one, it says the challenging norms. I'm sorry. We can change this. We are using words that include everyone's, and avoiding stereotypes can help make this favor for everyone, not matter their gender. And yeah, as I told you, we have to start stopping to use that terms or that assumptions for the roles of gender, and we can be like a more happier society. And in a study of language and genders, they were like some researchers that often use two main ideas, the dominance and the difference. That it's the men are often input and women are more conservative, right? Because of the study done in 1975 by Don Zimmerman and Candace West, they record conversations between men and women and found that men interrupt women much more often than women interrupt men, because I think that they're like good listeners, and men only just talk and talk and talk and doesn't or don't know, sorry, when to stop. And the different idea, on the other hand, comes that Deborah Tans, she says that men and women use language differently because they see the world differently. The men are often use language to show status or to compete, and women use language to build relationships and get support. As we said before, the men that doesn't like show their emotions are like not really good in a communicative way. And when we face a problem, a man might try to solve it alone, while a woman might talk to someone about it to get support, and that those are stereotypes too. In a study by Trudgill in 1972, and on urban British English, it was found that the women tend to use standard language forms more often than the men. And they also observed that men are often valued non-standard working class speech. He suggested two reasons for why they are like this. Women historically have had lower social status, may use standard language more to establish their social status. Unlike to men who may be judged by their actions, women may be judged more on their appearance and speech, making their use more important. However, the researchers hasn't shown significant difference on how men and women standard language forms. But I think that this researches and investigations and things that here we comment are no more like not like not gone. I don't want to say true, but maybe the times changes and things that we don't recognize or we didn't recognize then we can see it and just allegate for it or discuss about it to solve that thing, and to say that there is no thing like that to be like sure that that happened, right? Maybe some things that here that like the have a lower social status maybe can work, but in the past times, and now there here we are in another times, so we can be more um conscious about what we say and what we think about everyone. So the the last thing or the conclusion here is that we have to respect and to try to question about that things that they were supposed to be true or they are true, right? But why to justify all everything and that says there? Well, yeah, times changes and we change with them. So well, thank you so much for being here. This was our fifth episode of this podcast. Stay tuned and see you next week. Thank you, guys.